celebrities who were sued by their fans for ridiculous reasons. Superstars are adored by a great many individuals everywhere on the world. We as a whole have a most loved VIP, somebody we've never met yet love. We watch their films, or tune in to their melodies, and could go through hours discussing them. Individuals set up online journals devoted to them, compose books about them, and they're continually in the information. However, what happens when it seems like your superstar let you down? Or then again, more regrettable, really hurt you? The vast majority of us would simply be unobtrusively disillusioned, or grumble on Twitter. "That sucks," we'd state, and afterward proceed onward with our day. A few people, in any case, feel that big names need to pay for disillusionments and errors, and they resolve to utilize the court framework to get it going, if the superstar was really off base. Right away, here are 10 VIPs who were sued, legitimately or illegitimately, by their own fans.
10. Skrillex. Shows are a risky spot to be now and then. Between the pressed, bumping swarms, the restricted deceivability, the strobing lights, and perplexing boisterous sounds, there's various approaches to wind up harmed. That is actually what befallen one fan in 2014, at a show performed by acclaimed DJ and dubstep craftsman, Skrillex. Jennifer Frazel was in the show crowd when Skrillex jumped off a DJ table up on the stage, purportedly landing straightforwardly on her and making her have a stroke. Even though his lawyer asserts that the video of the episode unmistakably shows no contact among Skrillex and Frazel, the jury entrusted with an ultimate choice in this claim opposed this idea. Frazel has granted a cool $4.5 million in harm split between Skrillex, his visit organization, and the setting for installment. Skrillex, amazingly, took it well, saying that his main need was ensuring his fans were protected and having a decent time. 9. Creed. Doctrine is a notable and very much adored father rock band, with tracks that have been highlighted in films, played unremittingly over the radio and included in at any rate one playlist we as a whole had in our 20s. It's sensible to anticipate that quite a refined band should put on an awesome act, correct? The fans assumed thus, which is the reason 2003 show was such a stunt that it clearly required the reaction of a legal claim. In 2003, devotees of Creed were stunned and a little shocked when frontman Scott Stapp staggered out in front of an audience, supposedly alcoholic and insecure. He apparently experienced extreme difficulty singing, and at one point really dropped in front of an audience, ending the show. Obviously, the 15,000 who appeared at Watch Ideology play were frustrated, some so much that they recorded a claim in the interest of every other person at the scene. They requested a discount on the ticket costs, and ideally a conciliatory sentiment, for every individual who went to the show, just as a discount on their shopping, a complete expense to the band of $2 million. The appointed authority, in any case, excused the case, saying that he was not a stone pundit and that it would be a poorly conceived notion for expressions of the human experience to set a legitimate point of reference for deciding great craftsmanship, or shows, from awful ones for claims. 8. Lil Wayne. Regardless of whether you're not into rap, you most likely think about Lil Wayne. From 2009 to 2014, he was an enormous accomplishment in the rap world. Children cherished him, guardians endured him, and fans were obsessed with him. His unequivocal melodies, capricious expressive turns and regularly clever rhymes shot him to the highest rated spot. In May of 2012, notwithstanding, one fan wasn't extremely content with Wayne. Alfred Marino asserts that, in the wake of getting into a contention with the celebrated rapper, one of Wayne's team crushed him over the head with the skateboard. Marino had pulled out his telephone with the plan of snapping a photo of Lil Wayne subsequent to seeing him outside a shop in Los Angeles. After being advised more than once to take care of his telephone, and is known as a couple of terrible names, Marino charges that Wayne's protector panel as a skateboard over the rear of his head, taking him out and leaving him with vertigo so extreme he needed to take clinical leave from his work. Marino was purportedly disturbed by Lil Wayne after the occurrence, and as a previous fan, sued the rapper for the troubling and agonizing incident. 7. Justin Bieber. For some time, pretty much the most innocuous big name you could envision would have been Justin Bieber. The Canadian Perfect 10 was known for his sugar pop love melodies, enormous size, and powerful appeal. Young ladies of most any age fainted over him, spending huge loads of cash on his product, his collections, and above all else to see him live in face-to-face at sold-out show scenes. At one such show in Oregon in 2010, Bieber set up a Represent the show that played off that very thing, moving into a monster, part-welded metal gondola and being pulled over the group, inclining out to wave to the ocean of fans beneath. In the group was Stacey Betts, a homemaker of 5 who had come to see the show with her little girl. As per Betts, Bieber whipped the horde of young ladies into such a craze with his waving that their shouts came to perilous levels, repeating off the metal heart and causing a sound impact that for all time harmed her hearing. She professes to have contracted tinnitus, a condition which causes steady, crippling ringing in the ears. Betts additionally guarantees hearing misfortune and a general brought-down personal satisfaction. For her torment and enduring, Betts requested an incredible $9 million in harms. The case was at last excused. 6. Miley Cyrus. Many of us have fond memories of Miley Cyrus as her lovable, blonde alter ego Hannah Montana, the spunky country pop star plastered across the Disney Channel schedule, and our hearts. The daughter of famous country singer Billy Ray Cyrus, Miley was introduced to the entertainment business young and has stayed there pretty solidly ever since then. Those perfect wholesome beginnings have not, however, kept her out of trouble with the media, and with her fans. In 2009, a photo surfaced on the web of Miley making a Chinese eyes face. Sitting with a group of her friends, Miley was seen in the photo pulling her eyes out to the sides along with others in the group. In fact, the only person in the photo not doing this was a young Asian man who, it is alleged, was being mocked by the eye-pulling. The photo was deemed so offensive that it triggered a lawsuit. Los Angeles area woman Lucy J. Kim, alleging to have been personally damaged by the discriminatory photo, reportedly sued the Disney teen for $4.4 billion just on her own of course, but on behalf of the over 1 million Asian Pacific Islanders living in the Los Angeles area. For frame of reference on how out of this world a sum of $4 billion is, Miley's entire net worth currently stands at only $160 million, roughly 4% of the requested pay. 5. Usher. If you're a fanatic of Usher's music, you've presumably heard his name. From his inclusion with Justin Bieber to being caricatured on Family Guy, Usher has been around for some time, and in that time has become famous as a gifted performer and specialist for up-and-comers. It's my shocking obligation to reveal to you that Usher is additionally known for a less wonderful piece of exposure, a claim documented against him in 2017 by 3 individuals who state that he gave them all herpes. Approach to truly mess it all up, Usher. Quantasia Sharpton, an unknown man, and another mysterious lady have grouped together to sue the R&B star for supposedly giving them herpes. And they're not discussing mouth blisters, all things considered. Despite the fact that he wouldn't offer a public expression, Usher is known to have settled a comparable claim about similar charges out of court for $1.2 million in 2012. The anonymous offended party in the 2012 case is as far as anyone knows a previous darling and big-name beautician. Sharpton and the unknown couple looked for Big Harmson to have Usher cover their court expenses fees. 4. Jessica Simpson. Genuine inquiry: can a paparazzo be viewed as a fan? They're over-the-top like fans, and they love to take pictures like fans, so with the end goal of this rundown, they presumably tally. Considering that, let us take a gander at the claim against Jessica Simpson in 2018. Outside a lodging in New York, Jessica Simpson was, as is regularly the situation, trapped by a paparazzo. A couple photographs were snapped, the paparazzi ran off. That is the way things are for a well-known individual. Nonetheless, a couple of hours after the fact, when the photograph was presented on a cloth site, Simpson replicated it and stuck it onto her Instagram. You'd believe, being that it was an image of her, she'd have the right. That is to say, it's in a real sense her face. As indicated by the paparazzo and the media organization that utilized him, in any case, since the photograph was taken by their representative, they own it, and Simpson really took it when she stuck it on her Instagram. The organization asserts harms as much as $20,000. They may not legitimately own her face, however they sure are resolved to make her compensation for taking it back. 3. Snoop Dogg. Envision for a brief you're at a show for your #1 craftsman. Thrilled at being close to them, you surge the stage and go in for an embrace. From the wings, as though sitting tight for you, a few safety officers plunge in and tackle you, causing significant wounds. That was the circumstance for Richard Monroe Jr., a Snoop Dogg fan brutally handled by security when he hurried the stage in an endeavor to embrace Snoop in the show. Monroe was taken out and hauled off stage. He later woke on the ground behind the stage, his face swollen, lying in a pool of blood. Monroe initially sued for $22 million in harms, yet was granted just shy of $500,000 after the jury established that Snoop was not altogether to fault for the episode. Monroe likewise says that, subsequent to going through a few days spending time with Snoop during arrangements for a settlement, he feels close with Snoop. He even ventured to such an extreme as to state that he felt upbeat when he saw Snoop in the court, in spite of the conditions. 2. Bon Jovi. As we as a whole know, Bon Jovi is an exceptionally effective man. An 80s star that actually appreciates significance and achievement today, Bon Jovi is unmistakably a man who needs no assistance, moral or something else. Indeed, he's actually performing and visiting right up till today, and as yet putting out new music. So for what reason would he need to take a tune? As per one Samuel Bartley Steele, Bon Jovi did precisely that. In 2007, in the wake of delivering his tune I Love This Town, Bon Jovi was hit with the staggering $4 billion claim by Steele, who guarantees that Bon Jovi had by one way or another gotten his hands on Steele's nation rock accolade tune to the Boston Red Sox, Man I Really Love This Team, and had given it to his record name as his own. At the preliminary, Steele even carried a musicologist to affirm that they were a similar melody, possibly to be astonished when the musicologist affirmed that the tunes were, truth be told, nothing indistinguishable, put something aside for the words love and this in their particular titles. His claim was obviously excused, however that didn't stop him. Steele claimed the choice, planning to take one more run at the popular artist. 1. Taylor Swift. At the point when you're a pretty young lady and your face is put across magazines, boards, and web-based media continually, you will in general pull in a ton of weird individuals. Most are innocuous, essentially worshipping fans who compete for your consideration with blessings, tricks, and web-based media crusades. What do you do, nonetheless, when you figure out how to draw in a stalker? In 2015, Taylor Swift needed to address this accurate inquiry as a fan denounced any kind of authority and endeavored to drag her into court to stand out enough to be noticed. Russell Greer, quite a Swift fan, composed the tune throughout 2 years named I Get You, Taylor Swift, and sent it to her representatives, endeavoring to have it given to Swift herself. The specialists were not permitted to pass the melody on as a result of copyright concerns, and sent back obliging however firm dismissal letters. Rather than enduring it, Greer started sending letters and blessings straightforwardly to Swift's family, imploring them to give her the tune. At the point when that fizzled, he attempted another strategy, suing her as much as of $7,000 for both disregard of obligation and passionate pain. From the outset, it was framed basically as an endeavor to stand out enough to be noticed, yet when the claim was excused and Greer, through articulations made in the movement, discovered that Swift's family viewed as his endeavors upsetting and obtrusive, Greer turned out to be straightforwardly unfriendly, and sued her a subsequent time, this time for $50 million, in another endeavor to drive her to recognize him.